Greetings aspirants. Welcome to the Daily Current Affairs by CivicCentre IAS, where we try to discuss important and relevant articles from the Hindu, Indian Express and the PIB in UPSC CSE Prelims perspective. So, these are the list of articles we are going to discuss today. Coming to the first article, the National Broadband Mission 2.0. So, today we will discuss about National Broadband Mission 2.0. Looking at its key initiatives, Gati Shakti Sanchar Portal. This initiative streamlines the right-of-way permissions for optical fiber cable laying and telecom tower setup. Moreover, it aims to reduce approval time for infrastructure development, thereby enhancing the overall process. Coming to the next one, Telecommunications Act 2023 and Telecommunications Rules 2024. The introduction of uniform right-of-way charges nationwide is intended to expedite telecom infrastructure development. These rules will come into effect from January 1st, 2025, further aiding the telecom industry's growth. Moreover, National Broadband Mission 2.0 is primarily aimed to overcome connectivity challenges in remote and difficult areas. It will include initiatives such as satellite broadband promotion, coordination with the Ministry of Power to utilize optical ground wire for enhancing connectivity in hilly and remote regions, and expanding broadband coverage and services. Department of Telecommunication initiatives include BharatNet project. The BharatNet project aims to provide broadband to all Gram Panchayats and villages. As of January 13th, 2025, 214 to 323 GPs are already service ready, highlighting the progress made. And coming to the next initiative by the Department of Telecommunications, high-speed internet and mobile services. This initiative focuses on expanding 4G services in remote areas such as Northeast, Islands, LWE affected regions, aspirational districts and border villages to bridge the digital divide. And then submarine optical cables. Submarine optical cables have been laid between Chennai and the Andaman and Nicobar Islands and Kochi and Lakshadweep, which will enhance the rollout of 4G or 5G services, providing better connectivity. And the PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan, the integration of telecom assets with 1600 plus layers from various ministries, departments ensure effective planning for BharatNet projects, further contributing to the national connectivity network. The National Broadband Mission overview. Initially, it was launched in December 2019 under the Ministry of Communications. The National Broadband Mission focused on providing universal access to broadband services. This was further upgraded to National Broadband Mission 2.0 in 2025 to build upon the original mission success and expand its scope. Looking at its key objectives, the connect remaining 1.7 lakh villages. One of the primary objectives is to focus on connecting remote and economically undeserved areas which still lack adequate broadband accesses, and the expansion of optical fiber cable. The National Broadband Mission 2.0 aims to extend OFC connectivity to 2.70 lakh villages by 2030, ensuring broader coverage and improved connectivity. And high-speed broadband. A key goal is to achieve a minimum download speed of 100 Mbps across the country, providing faster and more reliable internet to all the citizens. And it also focuses on affordable broadband to provide affordable broadband services to bridge the socio-economic divides, ensuring equal access for all. And then the technological preparation. This mission also lays the groundwork for the 5G rollout and the eventual development of 6G technologies, preparing the infrastructure for future advancements. Looking at the features of the National Broadband Mission 2.0, the infrastructure growth. Building upon the achievements of National Broadband Mission 1, which include fiber optic networks and telecom towers. Now, the National Broadband Mission 2.0 aims to further development of the infrastructure to ensure high-speed internet access in both urban and rural areas. And then the environmental sustainability. The National Broadband Mission 2.0 also emphasizes environmental sustainability with a target of 30% of mobile towers being powered by sustainable energy sources by 2030. And then leveraging power sector infrastructure. The initiative will leverage optical ground wire from the power sector to enhance connectivity, especially during emergencies, ensuring more resilient infrastructure. And then the institutional connectivity. The National Broadband Mission 2.0 aims to ensure that 90% of schools, primary healthcare centers and Anganwadi centers are broadband enabled by 2030, providing better connectivity for educational and healthcare services across the country. Coming to the next article. In this article, we will discuss about the cancer-free India, the cancer care in India. Looking at the introduction to cancer prevalence and government initiatives, these include global and Indian cancer statistics. Cancer is a leading cause of death globally, and in India, cancer incidence is rising. With over 14 lakh cases reported in 2023, this growing number highlights the urgent need for effective cancer care and prevention measures. So, those include National Cancer Registry Program. The NCRP has been tracking cancer incidences, trends, and burden since 1982, which helps in understanding cancer patterns and informing evidence-based policy decisions. This data is crucial in addressing the increasing cancer burden in India. And then ICMR and NICPR, the Indian Council of Medical Research called ICMR, and the National Institute of Cancer Prevention and Research called NICPR are key institutions involved in cancer research, establishing screening guidelines and providing policy recommendations to tackle cancer in India. And looking at the Union Budget for 2025 to 2026, the key provisions for cancer care, the budget allocation in this budget for 2025 to 2026 has allocated of rupees 99,858.56 crore for the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, with 95,957.87 crore dedicated specifically to the Department of Health and Family Welfare, reflecting the government's commitment to improving health infrastructure including cancer care. And then the daycare cancer centers, the government plans to establish 200 cancer centers in district hospitals by 2025 to 2026, making cancer treatment more accessible in rural areas. These centers will provide essential care for cancer patients closer to home. And then, to reduce the cost burden on cancer patients, 36 life-saving cancer drugs and medicines will be exempted from basic customs duty. Additionally, concessional duty for 6 life-saving medicines and exemptions for drugs under Patient Assistance Program will be provided, easing the financial strain on patients. And then, looking at holistic cancer control, the policy and infrastructure initiatives include National Program for Prevention and Control of Cancer, Diabetes, Cardiovascular Diseases, and Stroke. The NPCDCS focuses on cancer control, particularly oral, breast, and cervical cancers, and aims to strengthen health promotion, early detection, and treatment. This program also facilitates the establishment of 770 district NCD clinics and 233 cardiac care units and 372 district day care centers, which are integral to cancer care. Strengthening tertiary care for cancer scheme, the government is also expanding specialized cancer treatment through 19 state cancer institutes and 20 tertiary cancer care centers to enhance the availability of advanced cancer care in various regions. And this initiative, which is Ayushman Bharat Yojana, also provides universal health coverage for rural and vulnerable population, covering chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and surgical oncology for cancer patients. Over 90% of registered cancer patients have commenced treatment under this scheme, ensuring that financial barriers are minimized. And then, Health Minister's Cancer Patient Fund. The HMCPF offer financial assistance up to 5 lakh for cancer treatment for patients below poverty line, with a maximum of 15 lakh in certain cases, helping ensure that low-income patients can access necessary treatments. And then the National Cancer Grid. The NCG, the world's largest cancer network with over 287 members, treats over 750,000 new cancer patients annually, constituting over 60% of India's cancer burden. This network plays a vital role in coordination and delivery of cancer care across the countries. And looking at the advancement in cancer research treatment, NextCar-19, India's first indigenous CAR-T cell therapy, developed by IIT Bombay, Tata Memorial Centre, and ImmunoAct. This indigenous therapy offers an affordable next-generation treatment for blood cancers, paving the way for more accessible cancer care options in India. And then the Quad Cancer Moonshot Initiative. India, in collaboration with the US, Australia, and Japan, launched the Quad Cancer Moonshot Initiative to eliminate cervical cancer in the Indo-Pacific region, demonstrating a global commitment to cancer eradication. And then ACTREC expansion. Tata Memorial Centre's Advanced Center for Treatment, Research and Education in Cancer is expanding to enhance cancer research, treatment and patient care, ensuring that cutting-edge cancer care is available to more patients. And looking at the awareness and prevention programs, First one is the community awareness. Programs like Ayushman Arogya Mandir, supported by local health workers, promote cancer prevention and early detection. These efforts are crucial in raising awareness, especially in rural areas. Moreover, by media campaigns, National Cancer Awareness Day, World Cancer Day, and various media channels work to raise awareness about health lifestyles and cancer prevention. These campaigns reach a wide work to the audience, spreading important information on the risks of cancer and ways to prevent it. And then there are government support programs. The NPNCD provides funds for cancer awareness under the National Health Mission. Additionally, campaigns like the Eat Right India and Fit India movement encourage healthy eating and physical activity, both of which are crucial in reducing cancer risk. Coming to the next article, the Project Lion is being implemented in the Gir landscape in Gujarat. The project envisages landscape ecology based conservation of the Asiatic lion in Gujarat by integrating conservation and eco development. So, now in this context, let's discuss about the project Asiatic lion. First, looking at the overview of Asiatic lion, the scientific name of Asiatic lion is Panthera leo persica. The species also known by the alternative names such as the Persian lion or Indian lion. It is geographically found only in India, primarily in Gujarat, making it an important species for conservation efforts in the region. Now, let's look at its habitat. Gir National Park or Sanctuary, located in Junagadh district of Gujarat, it is the only natural habitat of the Asiatic lion. The Gir forest represents the largest contiguous stretch of dry deciduous forest in western India's semi-arid region, providing a crucial ecosystem for the lions. Looking at its characteristics, the Asiatic lion is slightly smaller than the African lion, which sets it apart. And the features include it has a longitudinal fold of skin running along its belly, a feature that distinguishes it from the African lions. Additionally, its fur color ranges from ruddy tawny to sandy or buff gray, often with a silvery sheen. Male possesses a moderate mane growth and around the top of the head, leaving these ears visible, which is a notable characteristic. Now let's look at the conservation status. The IUCN Red List. The Asiatic lion is classified as vulnerable, a marked improvement from critically endangered in 2008 due to the successful conservation efforts. And the species is listed in Appendix 1, indicating that it is facing extinction with strict red restrictions. And according to Wildlife Protection Act 1972, the Asiatic lion is listed under Schedule 1, granting it the highest level of protection under Indian law. Now let's talk about the Gir National Park. The Gir National Park is situated in the Junagadh district of Gujarat. Gir National Park is a key site for Asiatic lion conservation. The Gir Sanctuary was established in 1967 and it became a national park in 1975, solidifying its role in preserving the Asiatic lion. And human-wildlife coexistence. The Malaria community, a traditional pastoral group, has lived harmoniously with the lions for generations. Their settlements, known as nesses, illustrate a model of peaceful coexistence between the humans and wildlife. And the flora of the Gir National Park includes the park is home to dry deciduous forests dominated by teak, acacia, and banyan trees, which provide the perfect habitat for the lions. In addition to these forests, the park also contains scrublands and savanna type grasslands, adding to its diverse ecosystem. And the fauna of Gir National Park include the carnivorous, which include the Asiatic lions, and the park also hosts other carnivores such as leopards, jackals, hyenas, and jungle cats, contributing to a balanced food chain. And the herbivores in the Gir include spotted deer, sambars, nilgai, wild boars, and antelopes, all of which serve as a prey for lions and other carnivores. And the park is a home to over 300 species of birds, including eagles, vultures, owls, and the endangered Indian skimmer. And the reptiles in Gir include mugger crocodiles, pythons, and various species of lizards found in the park's rivers and water bodies. Now, let's talk about the Project Lion and its objectives and implementations. Project Lion is a focused initiative aimed at landscape ecology-based conservation of the Asiatic lion in Gujarat, striving to integrate conservation with eco-development. And the project's vision, Lion at Rate 47 Vision for Amrutkal, seeks to ensure long-term conservation and eco-sustainability for the Asiatic lion population in the coming years. And the objectives include securing and restoring lion habitats to manage the growing population, enhancing livelihoods for local communities through sustainable practices, establishing a global hub for big cat disease diagnostics and treatment, and promoting inclusive biodiversity conservation. And the Asiatic lion population growth, the population of Asiatic lion has been steadily increasing over the years, which demonstrates the success of conservation efforts. The lion population was 411 in 2010, grew to 523 in 2015 and reached 674 in 2020, making a significant progress. And looking at the financial allocation for Asiatic lion protection, the fund allocation for the lion conservation, the government has allocated substantial funds to protect the Asiatic lion. In 2021 to 2022, 91.03 crore was allocated, followed by 129.16 crores in 2022 to 2023 and 155.53 crores in 2022 to 2024. This financial commitment aims to improve conservation infrastructure and enhance protection efforts for the species. Coming to the next article, Rajya Sabha Chairman Jagdeep Dhankar on Thursday asserted that only Parliament has the jurisdiction to constitutionally remove a High Court judge, saying a notice for the removal of Justice Shekhar Yadav of Allahabad High Court is pending with him. So, now in this context, let's talk about impeachment of judges. A judge may be removed from office through a motion adopted by Parliament on grounds of proven misbehavior or incapacity. Therefore, while the Constitution does not use the word impeachment, it is colloquially used to refer the proceedings under Article 124 for the removal of a Supreme Court judge and Article 218 for the removal of a High Court judge. Under Article 124 Clause 4, a judge can only be removed by Parliament through a laid-down procedure based on two grounds: proved misbehavior and incapacity. Moreover, the Constitution specifies that a judge can be removed only by an order of the President based on a motion passed by both the houses of the Parliament. The procedure for the removal of judges is elaborated in the Judges Inquiry Act 1968, which sets out the following steps for removal from the office. Looking at the procedure of impeachment of judges of Supreme Court and High Court in India, the grounds of removal are, alongside the constitutional provisions, the Judges Inquiry Act 1968 defines the grounds of impeachment, including misuse of office, grave offences undermining a judge's integrity, or any contravention of the constitution provisions. Therefore, these grounds must be considered when initiating the process of impeachment. And the initiation process begins with a signed motion by 100 members of the Lok Sabha or 50 members of the Rajya Sabha, which is then submitted to the Speaker or Chairman respectively, as provided under the Judges Inquiry Act 1968. Following this, the motion proceeds to the next stage of the process and the Constitution of Inquiry Committee. If the motion is admitted, the Speaker or Chairman who receives it will constitute a 3-member committee to investigate the complaint. The committee will consist of a Supreme Court judge, the Chief Justice of a High Court, and a distinguished jurist. Consequently, the committee will frame charges based on which the investigation will be conducted, and a copy of the charges will be forwarded to the judge, allowing them to present a written defense. And the inquiry and report, this committee carries out an in-depth inquiry into the allegations. After the investigation, the committee then represents a report to the Speaker or Chairman outlining their findings. Based on this report, further actions can be decided. And if the committee deems the judge guilty, both houses of Parliament can then discuss the motion. In order for the motion to pass, it needs a special majority, which includes a majority of total membership of the House, a majority of at least 2/3 of the members of that House present and voting. Thus, the motion must gain substantial support in both houses for it to proceed. And upon successful passage of the motion in both the houses, the motion is presented to the President as per Article 124 Clause 4, which then leads to removal of the judge. Therefore, the President order is the final step in the removal process. Coming to the next article, the Andhra Pradesh government has declared 4 areas as biosecurity zones where restrictions have been imposed in view of the outbreak of avian influenza in some parts of the state. So, now in this context, let's discuss what are biosecurity zones. The biosecurity zones refer to specific geographic areas created to prevent or control the spread of infectious diseases, pests, or other biological threats. Therefore, their primary aim is to safeguard human, animal, or plant health by regulating movement and activities within these zones. Moreover, these zones are particularly relevant in contexts like agriculture, forestry, wildlife protection, and public health. Now, looking at the key features of biosecurity zones. First one, the control of the movement. The primary goal is to restrict the movement of people, animals, plants, goods, or equipment to prevent the spread of pathogens and pests. Consequently, this is often seen in agriculture sectors where the introduction of diseases could devastate crops or livestock. And then monitoring and surveillance. Continuous observation and collection of data are vital to detect signs of outbreaks early. Thus, it plays a crucial role in timely detection and intervention, reducing the chances of a widespread of epidemic. And then the quarantine measures. These measures aim to isolate infected or potentially infected individuals or goods to prevent the spread of harmful agents. For example, livestock may be quarantined during outbreaks of diseases like foot and mouth diseases. And the regulation of activity. The restrictions on activities such as farming, transport, or wildlife interactions help minimize exposure to potential biological threats. Therefore, this ensures that ecosystems remain intact and reduce the risk of cross-species disease transformation. And lastly, enhanced inspection. Increased inspection or testing of goods, animals, or plants entering or leaving the zone is essential to ensure security. As a result, this is particularly vital in areas with heavy trade or migration, ensuring that harmful biological threats do not enter the unregulated areas. Coming to the next article, 4 days after Manipur Chief Minister N. Biren Singh resigned, President's rule was imposed on Thursday in the northeastern state that has been affected by the ethnic violence for the past 2 years. So, now in this context, let's talk about the President's rule. President's rule, also known as a state emergency or constitutional emergency, is a provision under Article 356 of the Indian Constitution. Consequently, it allows the central government to take direct control of state governance in case of constitutional breakdown or failure of the governance. Looking at its provisions, President's rule is governed by Article 355 to 357, Part 18 and Article 365 in Part 19, which lay down the legal framework for its imposition and implementation. And the President rule can be imposed under 2 key grounds: breakdown on constitutional machinery according to Article 356 and failure to follow the center's direction, Article 365. And some common situation leading to President rule include the state legislature being unable to elect a chief minister within time prescribed by the governor, the collapse of a coalition government resulting in a loss of majority, a no confidence vote leading to instability, and postponement of elections due to natural disasters, epidemics, or war. And the parliamentary approval or duration for these processes are approval by the parliament. The proclamation must be approved by both the houses of parliament within 2 months. However, if the Lok Sabha is dissolved, it remains valid for 30 days after a new Lok Sabha's first session, provided Rajya Sabha approves it in the meantime. And initially it is imposed for 6 months. President rule can be extended up to 3 years with parliamentary approval every 6 months. And the president can revoke president rule at any time without parliamentary approval. And looking at the impact of president rule, the president assumes executive functions of the state government and the governor administers the state on behalf of the president. Additionally, the chief secretary or advisors appointed by the president assist in its governance. And the legislature is either suspended or dissolved and parliament exercises the legislative powers of the state. In this period, Parliament passes the state's budget bills and ordinances for the state can be issued by the President when Parliament is not in session. Moreover, Parliament may delegate lawmaking powers to the President or any other authority. Coming to the next article, the Union Law Ministry on Thursday notified the appointment of 13 judges across 9 high courts. So, now in this context, let's discuss about the appointment of high court judges. According to Article 217 of the Constitution, it states that the judge of a high court shall be appointed by the President in consultation with the Chief Justice of India and the Governor of the state. Furthermore, in the case of appointment of a judge other than the Chief Justice of High Court is consulted. And the consultation process includes High Court judges are recommended by a collegium comprising the CJI and 2 senior most judges. Additionally, the proposal is initiated by the Chief Justice of High Court concerned in consultation with 2 senior most colleagues. After that, the recommendation is sent to the Chief Minister, who advises the Governor to send the proposal to the Union Law Minister. Moreover, the Chief Justice of High Court is appointed as per the policy of having Chief Justice from outside the respective states. And what is collegium system? It is a system of appointment and transfer of judges that has evolved through judgments of the Supreme Court and not by an act of Parliament or by a provision of the Constitution. Looking at the evolution of this system, the first case judges, it declared the primacy of the Chief Justice of India recommendation on judicial appointments and transfer can be refused for cogent reasons. This ruling gave the executive primacy over the judiciary in judicial appointments for the next 12 years. And then second judge's case 1993. Supreme Court introduced the collegium system holding the consultation really meant concurrences. It added that it was not the Chief Justice of India individual opinion but an institutional opinion formed in consultation with two senior-most judges in the Supreme Court. And then the third judge's case 1998. Supreme Court on President references expanded the collegium to a 5-membered body comprising CGI and 4 of his senior-most colleagues, for example, for the transfer of High Court judges. Coming to the next article, India's push to fund green investments through sovereign green bonds is facing muted investor demand, restricting the union government's ability to secure a meaningful green premium lower yields compared to regular bonds from the debt market. So, now in this context, let's talk about what are sovereign green bonds. Sovereign green bonds are fixed interest-bearing financial instruments issued by sovereign entities, intergovernmental organizations, or corporations to fund environmentally sustainable and climate-resilient projects. In addition, these bonds are specifically designed to raise funds for green initiatives that contribute to environmental sustainability. And looking at the utilization of proceeds, the funds are raised exclusively used for green projects, including renewable energy, which includes solar, wind, biomass, and hydropower with energy storage integration. Furthermore, energy efficiency projects such as LED public lighting and retrofits to existing buildings are also funded. And the sustainable infrastructure, low carboning building construction, reduction of electricity grid losses. And the key features include issues at a premium to enable cheaper capital for green projects. Additionally, there is no cap on foreign investment as they are specified securities under the fully accessible route. Moreover, proceeds are deposited into the Consolidated Fund of India, from which funds are allocated to eligible green projects. However, there are no specific tax benefits for the investors. Coming to the next article, the WHO's recent declaration of Georgia as the 45th country to eliminate malaria is a significant milestone. So now in this context, let's discuss about the malaria. Malaria is a life-threatening disease caused by a parasite transmitted to human through the bites of infected female Anopheles mosquitoes. Furthermore, it is important to note that the parasite is primary cause of the disease, and the disease transmission mostly found in tropical countries. It does not spread person to person but can also be transmitted through blood transfusions or contaminated needles. Therefore, it is crucial to consider these other transmission routes when addressing the diseases. Malaria is preventable and curable. Thus, effective prevention strategies can significantly reduce the impact of disease. Looking at the symptoms of the disease, the symptoms includes mild symptoms such as fever, chills, and headache. In contrast, severe symptoms can include fatigue, confusion, seizures, difficulty in breathing, dark or bloody urine, jaundice, and abnormal bleeding. And the symptom typically appear 10 to 15 days after being bitten by an infected mosquito. Hence, early detection is vital for effective treatment and management of the diseases. Looking at the malarial parasites, there are 5 species of Plasmodium parasites that cause malaria in humans. First one, Plasmodium falciparum, the deadliest parasite prevalent in Africa. Additionally, Plasmodium vivax is the dominant parasite outside sub-Saharan Africa. And Plasmodium malariae, Plasmodium ovale, and Plasmodium knowlesi, other species causing human infections. And the diagnosis, which is confirmed by the parasitic-based diagnostic testing. Therefore, accurate diagnosis is essential for determining the appropriate treatment. Looking at the treatment, the common medicines of the malaria include artemisinin-based combination therapy, most effective for Plasmodium falciparum malaria. Furthermore, chloroquine is used for the Plasmodium vivax in areas where it is still effective, and primaquine, which prevents the relapse of Plasmodium vivax and Plasmodium ovale infections. And looking at the World Health Organization latest World Malaria Report 2024, the report notes that since 2000, the World Health Organization Southeast Asia region has made remarkable progress against malaria, with estimated malaria cases in the region falling from 22.8 million in 2000 to 4 million in 2023, a reduction of nearly 82.4%. Moreover, the report highlights significant reductions in malaria cases across several countries. In the period from 2022 to 2023, 4 countries achieved reductions in their malaria caseload, which includes Bangladesh, reduced by 9.2%, and India by 9.6%, Indonesia by 5.7%, and Nepal by 58.3%. Meanwhile, 3 countries saw increase in cases, which includes Democratic People's Republic of Korea with increase in 47.9%, and then comes Thailand with increase in 46.4%, and then Myanmar which increase in 45.1%. In 2023, both Timor and Leste and Bhutan reported 0 indigenous cases of malaria. Therefore, these countries serve as example of successful malaria control efforts. So, today we have discussed 9 articles in total, and tomorrow we will be back again with another video. Thank you.